Alright guys, we have a special episode today with my partners John and Sam Shahidi into the business of Happy Dad, number 4 seltzer in the nation. Before we get into it, football season is well underway right now, and Prize Picks is the best way to watch football and win cash. And almost every week, Prize Picks has what's called max discounts. You throw it in your pick and it just boosts your entire shit. This week, it's Jalen Hurts 0.5 more. Obviously, he's gonna get that. It's a max discount. So here's my lineup for this Sunday. And again, I just throw Jalen Hurts into that, boost the entire thing, take advantage of that. Also, Prize Picks has this sweet new feature where you guys can just follow me on the app. I got @Kyle. You guys can just tail my picks straight from there. So make sure you guys go to the Prize Picks app, follow me @Kyle. Another sweet deal, code Nelk. Take advantage of this. If you put in just $5 with code Nelk, you're gonna get $50 for free with your lineup. Take advantage of code Nelk. That's for you guys. Download the Prize Picks app, use code Nelk. Let's get into the podcast. All right, guys, we have a very cool, different, special episode of the Full Send podcast today. Today, I'm here with my two amazing partners. We have Sammy Shahidi, the CEO of Happy Dad, the best CEO in the fucking game. The guy's an absolute robot. And we have the president of Happy Dad and Full Send, John Shahidi. We thought it'd be really cool to just kind of recap the last 4 years of how we built Happy Dad as a business, go through some cool moments and talk about some inside info on the business and just stuff that you guys don't really see or probably haven't heard about. So I think this is going to be a really cool episode.
Yeah, I like it.
Can you guys believe it's been 4 years?
No.
Not at all. Feels like, sounds cliche, but it feels like yesterday.
It does. Just to start it off here, we have some stats here, and honestly, every time I read these, I can't even believe it. We've sold 224 million cans in the last 4 years. We're the number 4 seltzer in the USA, which is all behind big alcohol brands like White Claw, Truly, and Topo Chico, who are owned by big brands like Coca-Cola and stuff. We're nationwide in Canada.
We're even selling in Northwest Territory and Yukon and everywhere.
We're everywhere in Canada?
Everywhere.
Nunavut too?
Nunavut, yeah.
We got to make a trip up to Nunavut. In LCBO, are we the number 1?
So our grape launched recently. So we're the number 1 innovation on grape on a 473. We're the number 1 innovation on tea because we just launched that. Our fruit punch 473 there is absolutely crushing it. Our variety pack we've only been in the LCBO for 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah.
88 employees in the USA, 30 employees in Canada, 6 vice presidents, 7 directors, 10 chain managers that handle us in Walmart. We're in over 3,000 Walmarts. So there's so many other stats too. There's some crazy. Anything else that's like crazy, Sammy?
We're number 4 in the nation right now, but we're on pace to be number 3. So that's a big one. We actually just hit number 3 in North Carolina, which is a great indicator of we're going the right way. Especially in the seltzer business. Like you said, there's White Claw's number 1, Truly's number 2. White Claw's owned by Mark Anthony, so Mike's Hard Lemonade, Cayman Jack, White Claw, which is a beast.
Truly's owned by Boston Beer.
Boston Beer, right? So you got Sam Adams, Twisted Tea, and Truly within that world. And the third one is Topo Chico, which is Coca-Cola, but it's a partnership with Molson Coors, so Coors Light, Coors Banquet.
So we're pretty much number 4 behind 3 massive big dogs.
Yes. We're independent. We have some investors, but the whole company is ran by us, and it's always been, and it's been. So it's very different, right? Like nobody in this independent business has ran a company like what we've done. But
that's crazy.
Going from just us, and Joe Butau and our friends that people have seen in the documentaries to figuring this out. And alcohol is hard, man. It's one of those things where you have government laws from Canada to the States, and you have to follow very strict guidelines. And for us to hire an incredible team from 0 to numbers, insane.
That's one thing people always find fascinating. I find when I tell people in public is all the marketing regulations that come with the alcohol space. Obviously, if you guys don't know, there's a whole fucking list of things that you can't do when marketing alcohol. You obviously can't associate it with health or it being healthy in any way. There's
underage, obviously.
The big thing people find fascinating is you're not allowed to shit on another alcohol brand.
Yeah.
So in another space, if it's the energy drink space, you can say fuck Ghost Energy
Yeah.
or some shit. Ghost Energy made me throw up the other day, so fuck Ghost Energy. You can't say that if you
Shit.
in the alcohol space. You can't say fuck.
But what you can do is compare,
Yeah.
right? You can't say one of our competitors tastes like shit. Stop drinking it. It's horrible. But you could go and compare the facts. Like we could compare our hard iced tea to Twisted Tea, the nutritional side of the can, right?
Mhm.
You could say these are the facts. You know, we are 1 gram of sugar. They are in their tall one, which is most of their sales, 24 to 28 grams, somewhere between there. You know, you could compare the facts and say,
Yeah.
like, we're better for you. Might not be as sweet, which has kind of been the feedback with tea. It's not as sweet, but no shit. We're 1 gram of sugar. You know, the world is, and that's is also a big success of Happy Dad, is the trend of everyone says alcohol sales are down. And the fact is, alcohol sales are back to normal. Before COVID is where we're at now. COVID spiked up alcohol sales like crazy.
Made everyone alcoholics.
Yeah. COVID, you were able to order a margarita off DoorDash and have it at your house. You know what I mean? Like people are drinking outdoors and all that. That stopped. Right. So people are back to normal. People are back into health. They realize post-COVID, yourself as well, TNM, all that stuff is successful right now because of everyone wants to get healthy. So even though Happy Dad, we're not marketing as a healthier drink, but people know, like they know, I don't want 24 to 28 grams of sugar in a can. I want 1 gram of sugar.
Yeah.
I just want a slight buzz. You know, those are facts that you can state that, you know, this is, you know, we are a better for you product.
Yeah.
And more people are pre-gaming now than ever. So bars and restaurants are seeing people showing up later.
Pre-games are up 15%.
Yeah, pre-games are up 180%. You know, it's and it's what it is because obviously, you know, people like their pockets are much lighter
Pre-gaming
now.
at
Right?
Steiny's.
Yeah, you can pre-game at Steiny's and post-game. It seems
Yeah,
like
she
off of
posted
Snapchat.
Definitely post-game.
Yeah. Is that what happened
He's a
last night?
post-gamer more than a
Is
pre-game.
that what happened last night?
No, not last night.
So the pre-gaming is a big thing because obviously cost of living has gone up and you know alcohol prices have gone up for a lot of other people. We try to keep our pricing.
Yeah, real quick, you know, Steiny's gonna hit me with like, "Yo, was that shade?" Yeah, right, 100%.
Yeah.
What's happening now is like you have people coming in, showing up to bars at midnight because they pre-gamed hard, so they're buying 12 packs of Happy Dads or anything else at their place, and then they go to the bars and spend a couple hours there and not spend as much money. That's a change in alcohol though. But going back to the marketing thing. Nelk and all of us and our history and everything, we came from internet, social media, right? So we had no really censorships. We did wild stuff to promote whatever video we had. So I think it was like a kind of a culture shock for us to now have to follow laws and rules and everything, but also keep our brand authentic, which seemed like a hard thing, but it was really just all of us being in line of what's the right thing to do and what's, what not to do. Right. So I think it's pretty impressive. Like just now to the game, like, when there's a post or a video that is like someone sending it, like originally we used to just really review these things. Now it's second nature on what not to do.
Yep.
Yeah, it's become a no-brainer.
It was tough at first to learn.
It's tough,
because especially coming from the Nelk background, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why, Happy Dad flew off the shelves at the beginning, or there was a, just a fucking big enthusiasm for it, was because we were the rule breakers.
We're also learning it with nicotine is, these rules are also in place for the right reasons, right? Like underage drinking. Of course, you don't want anyone under 21 drinking. Excessive drinking. You don't want to encourage those who actually have drinking problems, which is a big world out there that we respect.
I think the alcohol rules actually makes it easier.
Yeah.
Because it's like very strict. And strict's a tough word to say, but it's very specific.
Yeah.
What we deal with all the time, because people are like, man, I can't believe you got deal with whatever. There's rules with like distributors and all that. I'm like, yeah, but we have a playbook and you just follow that. There's not, I'd rather do that than be in a business that.
It's not hard.
Yeah. Just
the only one I wish is if you could just publicly shit on other brands.
But. Yeah, probably. Yeah, we all do.
They
That'd be
end up
fun.
Shitting on themselves though. When you realize, it's 24 grams of sugar, they just end up shitting on themselves, right? Like, when, you realize, you're on a, clean diet and, you're drinking that super heavy beer and you feel like shit, they end up shitting on themselves. People know, like, I want to get in shape. I'm not drinking a heavy beer. I'm not drinking a seltzer or a tea with 24 or 28 grams of sugar. I'm not getting super fucked up with this extra hard drink or this hard liquor, so I don't wake up in the morning, go to the gym, or I look shit on on Instagram, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like they end up, the world is also changing where it takes time. It's not an overnight thing for us to just make one video about it, but the world is waking up as well.
Let's talk about how like me and Nelk and all the guys and you guys became partners. What were you guys doing like the last 5 years before before we met?
Sam and I, we got into the YouTube business in 2009, like a long time ago, like way before the word YouTubers was a verb.
Before Instagram was created.
Back at that time, the only social networks that were for public figures were YouTube and Twitter, because even Facebook was around, but it was super private.
In 2009.
Yeah. So from 2009 to this day, we've been in the YouTube business. Now, we've worked with all types of people. Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Usain Bolt, Cristiano Ronaldo. Then obviously, Bieber got involved with the company and invested in 2012. Then we worked with, we were working with Vine creators at the time, and that's when you saw Bieber doing a lot of content with Vine creators, because we believed Vine creators could become YouTubers. So we just wanted to make them household names, which we did, and Bieber would collaborate with them, with the Anwar Jabawis, Rudy Mancusos, Lele Pons, King Batch, Jake Paul, Logan Paul. Jake and Logan actually lived 2 doors down from me, so they would just always come over, hang out, whatever. And if you've noticed, like all the people I named, all types of personalities that we dealt with. And, what we were also, when you're dealing with that personality, it also, with all types of personalities, it gets a little bit old after a while. So when we met you, which we could talk more detail about, because I think that's a really great story, is we also said, well, one, we loved Nelk. We were fans of Nelk.
You got put onto us, right? You put John on it first, right?
Sam would send me TikToks all the time.
Yeah, you guys popped up during, like, specifically a little bit before COVID, and then actually I think I was at the party where you guys did the prank at Coachella, like letting people in. And obviously I heard about you guys, and we knew Banks for a while too, and everything. You were at his house, but long story short was, one thing that you guys did different than I've never seen any YouTuber, creator, artist, or anybody do, was you guys were so proud of marketing your products, which was a Full Send brand. Every video was, boys, we got this drop. We got this drop coming.
You, Jesse, Steve, absolutely nailed that.
Like, there was nobody in the world that knew how to plug your brand in the right way and also deliver great stuff. And it was cool, and you made it cool, and wearing your brand was awesome. And I was like, man, these guys nailed it.
So going back to those personalities and getting tired, is my brother and I at one point were like, what if we put the work that we did to make a lot of these people household names, or bring them back, right? Like we were responsible for bringing, we worked with Mike and Mike Tyson and his wife on like rebranding Mike in 2009, 2011 to Funny Mike Tyson. And, to this day now, he's like, Funny Mike Tyson is a thing, right? He does a video, does something. Yeah. Anything he says goes viral. That's funny. But we said, what if we treated the creators and put all that effort into a creator, instead of into a brand, and treated a brand like an influencer. So, that's where the inception of Happy Dad came.
Yeah. And then on my end, basically, obviously you guys know, I mean, we were repping alcohol in our videos all the time. When I saw that we really had influence, was we started drinking Corona, obviously. And I think me and manager Drew actually came up with the term in like one of our friends' basements in Canada, my friend Tristan, and we just started calling it Rona season. And we started saying that in videos, Rona season. And Corona was always typically a drink for like older people. You didn't see 21-year-olds or college kids drinking Corona. It was more of like, my dad would drink it, and they marketed to seniors on the beach. So we start saying Rona season. And then, we'd do a merch drop and sell Rona season shirts, and we'd sell 20,000, and we sold 20,000 in 24 hours.
Crazy.
And
I'm like, holy shit.
20,000 units.
20,000 units in 24 hours. And I was like, that's when I realized, I was like, hey, we have a real influence here. And then I start pulling up to frats and I see all the kids, they have Coronas and they're giving me Coronas. And I'm like, all right, we have real influence here. We tried to get a deal with Corona. We were obviously way too crazy. Now I know why they could never touch us, but that was a blessing. But, we'd get offered.
We'll touch you back then. Now.
Touch you back then.
Now
yeah,
it's
of course.
Yeah,
now we're grown up. I'm not 21. So different people would approach us and say, hey, we want to starting this alcohol. We want to give you 20%, this and that. And I was like, I feel like we just have a big influence.
Yeah.
So basically after that point, I was like, I want to start our own alcohol brand. And then I met the Shahidis.
You had been pitched a lot of different alcohols that taste like shit too, right?
Yeah. People came to our house and they said, here's our pre-existing alcohol. We're starting it soon. Take 20% of it. But I would try it and be like, yo, this is trash.
I tried one of those. I forgot the guy's name. And I don't even want to shit on him anyways because it's irrelevant. But I remember I posted a picture of our dinner and that guy had followed me. And he was like, hey, I've been actually trying to pitch Nelk on this alcohol. He's like, can I send it to you? Can you get it? I can't get a hold of Kyle. Can you send it? And I was like, if you can't get a hold of Kyle, then you must have sucked. But sure, send it to me. He sent that shit to my house. I was nauseous. I had to take 4 Pepto-Bismols. I was so sick. And that's why I told him, I was like, bro, this is the opportunity of a lifetime, but it's got to be done right. It can't be. Nelk fans or any creator, any celebrity fan will try things once, but that's about it. Will they come back? We got to crush it. He's like, well, we should call Joe Butal because going back way before 2009, bro, one of the reasons why we got into the YouTube business, we had created a tequila with the Butals, and this tequila was a 10 out of 10, but we had no marketing. People, we're like, we got into a couple stores and they're like, all right, well, what are you doing for marketing? Are you buying radio ads? Are you buying billboards, this and that? And I'm like, no, that costs a lot of money. We're not doing the traditional stuff. And then one of the reasons why we actually created the YouTube network was to eventually get the eyeballs to build brands. That's been our model since 2009. Now it took to 2020 for us to find the right product, but we stuck with it. But that was the one big thing. And I think that's a big message for all creators is just because you've got a big fan base, don't just sell garbage. Figure out a product because people will buy this once, but are they going to go back, go through it for the weekend and go back the next week and buy another 12 pack, buy another 12 pack?
I think no one was coming to us too with a good product. So we just said listen, let's make something that, we were drinking seltzers at that time. That was the time when I, kind of started drinking seltzers because me and Steve were working out and we're trying to watch the barrels a little bit. So we were drinking seltzers and then, we were drinking other ones and we thought that they could be a little better. So we kind of just teamed up and we started from scratch and we said, let's spend the next, I think it ended up taking a year and a half of taste testing. And let's just make the best product we possibly can. And let's make something that we like.
Yeah.
Because we were passionate drinkers and we said, you know what? If we like it, I think that all our fans are going to like it as well. And that's what we set out to do.
So there's a couple things to that. One was, I remember watching your Nelk videos and you were like, we don't have a manager. We don't believe in this. And I was like, the perfect time because my brother and I were like, we actually want to find a partner. We're going to go in and have a partner. So that was one piece that was big. But then the other side was from our experience, because we were on the other side of doing deals for brands would come up to our talent and say, hey, we want to do a deal or whatever. And when their sales were not doing well, they're like, can you get them post more? And I'm like, well, this is the thing. You can't make our talent the face of your brand when the product's not great. You have to make the brand bigger and then the talent should just help it, but it shouldn't be it, right? And I think when we all talked, we were like, this is not Nelk Boys seltzer. This isn't a full send seltzer. Let's make a name bigger than that. But more importantly, what was happening, I remember, was people were like, hey, we made this, you could have some. So you don't own that art, right? That's not your recipe. So we were like, from day one, we got to own every single piece of this and own that journey so nobody could slow us down with any decision or anything. So during that process, it was pretty cool though, because we all went from, we didn't come up with you and say, hey, here's a new flavor. We had those taste tests, right? And I think you were in Alabama. We would ship it to you, be like, hey, let's taste this. It needs to be a little sweeter.
In Alabama.
You were in
I think we were in Tampa one time.
Tampa, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was I think it was the Key West.
We were doing a taste test, and a week later, we flew out to Air Force One. If you see it in the documentary too.
Yeah, that's right.
We were traveling. How many revisions did we go through?
5 or 6.
Yeah.
But we were always on sync though, right? Like it wasn't like, well, I think like
We all have similar palates.
we all
too.
had a similar palate. And I think it was cool that none of us had experience in alcohol because we had a great flavor house that's been with us since day one. We get flavor houses all the time that like try to pitch us. And I'm like, this is our guy. And he knows exactly how we think or how we want things. And but it was cool because it's really easy to overthink and get very scientific and technical on flavors. And we were just all sitting there and be like, can you make it a little sweeter? It has an aftertaste. What's that metallic aftertaste? And we got rid of that. Our competitors have this weird taste in the back that sits where we don't have that, right? And that was because we kept saying, it tastes kind of like those other guys. And we went through this whole process, which sometimes when you don't know anything is actually a good thing, right? Because you just kind of, you're not stubborn. You're just like, I just don't like it.
Mhm.
And now we could go to pH level or whatever. But I think the story though, like even to continue and going through, like we got the flavor right. And then the name, you know, we were like, we have to be bigger than the Nelk fan base. We have to be bigger than the YouTube fan base and the YouTube fan base.
That was
right?
always like obviously one of my goals just from even thinking about it was this is not a Nelk thing. This is not a full send thing. You know, we didn't want to call it, we were thinking of calling it full send seltzer at the beginning.
I have the
But then-
mock-ups though.
Yeah. And then I was like, you know what, full send's great. It's big, but we want to create something new and, you know, just promote it to our fans. And
Yeah.
when we came up with the name Happy Dad, I think everyone loved it. We wanted to think of something that was just, you know, for
Well, we were
everyone.
thinking, if you
just-
remember, we were thinking not just bigger than Nelk and applies to everyone. We were also thinking like golf and
golf,
you know,
something like
Happy Gilmore. We had like Happy Gilmore mood boards, or like what was the drink in there?
and something I could drink with my dad too, in like the garage in Canada.
Making
Like,
dad's cool. Like think
Yeah.
about how many dads are wearing Happy Dad merch
Well,
now and just
the-
getting dabbed up.
The brilliancy of that, now that I think about it, was going back to like why I was also excited to do a hard seltzer with Nelk versus like a hard seltzer with like, say, like Alex Cooper or any other female was, you know, one of the biggest things that we have done is we brought the seltzer category is a massive category, but it's very competitive. We brought a new profile person into that category. Like we brought males males in their mid 20s drinking seltzers and flexing seltzers, right? Like I used to drink White Claw back then, but like you would never see a picture with me in a White Claw with a White Claw. Like I would, if someone's taking a picture, I would hide it behind my back. I would pour
especially
in a
older
cup.
guys too.
Yeah, like I would never.
Like if you're a
Beer drinkers.
yeah, beer drinkers.
never.
I think the seltzers, like White Claws, were, you know, they weren't bad for like the 20s, but above 30,
yeah,
no one above 30 was repping drinking a seltzer.
Yeah,
and
maybe
skinny
so.
can.
I was over 30 at the time, but and now I'm over 40. But I and that's the thing. Like, how do we actually take that? Fix that problem. That's a problem. Like seltzers, men like seltzers, but they don't want people knowing. And
Well,
we made
it's the skinny can problem.
Yeah.
well, the skinny can, just the branding.
We wanted to go for a beer vibe on a
Yeah.
seltzer
and that's what we did.
and attack the male market.
So that's why if you
and
look at the can, I mean, this is gonna be our new can.
we got to do this for Canada too.
It's coming next.
That's a great idea.
Now you have to.
Yep, I do.
You see how this works?
Yeah, exactly. can't.
Sammy's loved in Canada. I saw that in Nelk video.
Went to Toronto Memorial Weekend.
I know.
Yeah,
nice.
like who goes to Toronto on Memorial Weekend?
I had to go to LCBO golf tournament on Monday.
But you were there for 4 days. But
I know.
I can't control you and Kyle together. What you guys have going on, but that's the big thing, and I think that's the other for any creators, because I love helping creators come up with brand ideas. I get friends of ours calling all the time, like me and Aiden talk weekly. What's a brand I should be doing, and we think through it. And I think that the secret is look at a category that's growing, but bring a new customer into that category. Right now, supplements is growing, but I wouldn't advise a gym influencer to get into the supplement business. Like every gym influencer, every fitness, health and wellness podcaster is already, part of a company or has their own company. That's a growing category, supplements and health and wellness and hydration sticks and all that. But I wouldn't advise, someone already going into that. That's their audience. Someone new should coming in there, right? Like if a guy or girl who has a big fan base of 16-year-olds to 20-year-olds, that are, you know, they're the ones that should be getting into the health and wellness. Like, get 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds drinking hydration sticks or taking supplements or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think that's the one thing, is bringing new people into a category. And we did that with grape. You know, we did that with grape, which we could talk about. We're doing that with this. Whenever we come up with new flavors, who do we bring into that category? So when we go to Walmart and we go to Kroger's, we go to 7-Eleven, Circle K, all our big partners, like, hey, we have a new flavor and we're marketing it to this person. So don't worry. If someone's coming in for White Claw Truly, let them buy White Claw Truly. We know who that is. That's a 23-year-old girl is buying the White Claw Truly. That's not who we're bringing in. We're bringing in we're bringing in the 25-year-old to now 30s, 40-year-old men who are switching from beer to seltzers. We're bringing those guys in. We're bringing in, you know, with Death Row.
With great quality.
Yeah. That's, well, we already go into that. None of this works if you don't have a great product. None of this works. No one's buying shit. They'll buy it once and that's it. And then you're off the shelf. Your business is over.
Whenever I need more Bitcoin or anything crypto related, I always use the MoonPay app because it is just so easy to use. They have every payment provider on the planet, Venmo, your bank account, PayPal, everything. And if you guys aren't trying to go big, you don't need to get a whole Bitcoin. With as little as $20, you can own a piece of a Bitcoin. And because MoonPay's been around now for over 6 years, they're pretty much taking over the entire crypto game. They even have a relationship with Bitcoin.com. Whether you're just figuring out what Bitcoin is or you're ready to actually start building a portfolio, Bitcoin.com makes it super, super easy. Pair it with MoonPay and you've got everything you need to take your first step into crypto or your next one. Also, every week on our Instagram, we give away $1,000 in Bitcoin. All you gotta do every week is DM us your MoonPay wallet address. We go through every week and we just choose someone's wallet address and then we post it on our story as proof. So if you guys are getting into crypto or you just want a chance to win $1,000 in Bitcoin, download the MoonPay app, the best crypto app in the game. Shout out to MoonPay. They're taking over the crypto world. Let's get back into the podcast.
Sammy, what was one of our biggest challenges in year one? I mean, we launched, there was obviously, you know, we were popping up to different stores. We were pulling massive crowds. I remember that one we did in San Diego on the opening day.
Right.
And we were cutting the ribbons. It was complete mayhem. So we were obviously that initial, I think the feed post we posted got like 600,000 likes. Crazy. It was a huge launch on social media. Do you guys remember even the Happy Dad Instagram got deleted?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys remember that?
About that?
We launched Happy Dad and it fucking blew up so fast.
Oh, yeah.
And in the first 48 hours, I think there was so much traction for spam that it got deleted.
Yeah.
Totally forgot
But
about
that shit always works in our favor too. It made us even seem more like the underdogs.
Yeah.
And like the Instagram became like a top 5 most followed alcohol brand in like the first week or 3 days.
So the biggest challenge in any alcohol beverage is, at the end of the day, distribution. Luckily, we figured out how to make product, and we ran out of stock a little bit here and there, which was fine, and that's part of the game, and it's actually probably better for us in a way. But we distribution is the toughest one. So we had a great partner that came on board and started selling us, but as you grow your company, you want to be in every corner, right? Like White Claw is in like 98% of America, right? We're currently in like 21% of America. So distribution is like, and let me explain what distribution is in the alcohol business. It's illegal for us to sell directly to Walmart. It's illegal for us to sell to GoPuff or Publix or any of these guys, Kroger. You
need a distributor.
You need a distributor. It's called a 3-tier system. It's like old laws, like prohibition laws, that you have to have a partner. At some point, you go from one distributor that could help you nationwide to you need a lot more, because you need the guys to win every corner, every county in America. And so this is for the US business only. So these guys are the ones that go to a local gas station that's showing up 3 days a week and just rolling in, you know, Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Modelo, or whatever else and everything. So at some point we got so big, but we're still hearing friends saying, man, I can't buy it here. I can't buy it there. Oh, you're out of stock at Walmart. I'm like, well, how are we out of stock at Walmart? And it's because some distributors don't show up every day, every week, or whatever that is. So fast forward to today. A year ago at this time, we had 76 distributors, and now we're at 238. We're going to go from being in 21% of America to about 70 and eventually about 90%, because what happens
what White Claw has right now.
How long does it take for that to go in effect? 21%.
So to go from like 76 distributors to 238, it should take us a couple years. Our company was able to add 104 new distributors from our existing. We had one distributor in 10 states. Now we switched to 104 distributors in 90 days. Totally unheard of. The only way we were able to do that is we had incredible partners that believed in our brand, that wanted to buy our distribution rights. On top of that, we had a great in-house team. We have a great legal team in-house that moved so damn fast in contract negotiations to make the switch. We didn't want to wait 2 more years. We need to start selling in Wawas and Circle K's. So we were only at 1% of the Wawas and Circle K's in Florida, 1% in Texas, 0% in Colorado, 0% gas stations and convenience.
Which Mavericks is massive there.
And now we'll be everywhere, right? And they're the ones that are going to take us to 4 to 1 and all that. So our whole business is a whole different beast now. But more importantly, is for our fans, our customers, because for myself, there's an AM PM right by my parents' house. That's where I bought all my beer, and I still do to this day. That's where I buy my Gatorade. That's where I buy everything. Oh, you weren't able to buy Happy Dad there.
Now we're about to be in.
Now we're going to be
over
in
800.
Yeah,
over
AMPMs across the West Coast. So
we weren't properly distributed into gas stations and convenience stores. So when we're talking about all these sales, and you're talking about the can sales and being number 4, all of that was mostly just being in grocery chains, the Walmart's, Kroger's, Bevmo, Publix. We were just there, but you couldn't find Happy Dad, which is a malt seltzer. It's a beer in a 7-Eleven, Wawa, Circle K, Golf, AMPM, whomever, Chevron. And now we're about to be there. And that's where this next year to 2 years of Happy Dad is going to be a whole different. We're going to do part 2 of this in 2 years. These stats are going to be nothing compared to what those stats are going to be in 2 years.
And so we have like a whole initiative this year of like every county in America counts. So what that means is if you're in, Young's County, Texas, that county is just important to us than selling in LA or in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone that's listening right now is probably living in Young's County, and they probably weren't able to buy Happy Dad before, but they're now
Young's County.
But the problem in the past was, why should we go spend all this money and take those ideas when you couldn't buy it at that little tiny gas station in the corner of not Montana, but like Colorado, right?
Because then all those marketing efforts are just kind of wasted.
You're not getting your return on investment.
You know what I mean? Like our fans are everywhere. Nelk fans are everywhere. So we've been in the middle of nowhere, America. It's not just Miami, LA.
Middle America is like our biggest fans.
No, but what I tell like all of our partners and everything is like the machine is about to turn on, because we never turned on the marketing machine. But now that we know that our fan in that little county and wherever is going to be able to buy Happy Dad in the next 3 to 6 months. It takes a little bit of time. It's just so many stores. So that's a really important thing where our brand's going. So all these incredible numbers and everything that we shared was, it's very early days, but we have such a great team. We've hired about 14 people in this past year, and we're going to continue to hire more. But I just think like our brand is just such a unique place because we have a culture too. That's something we haven't even talked about, is like the culture we created, our hats, our merch. Like if you think about like the Road brand, right? Hailey Bieber's new brand that just got acquired for $1 billion. Think about what are some of the things that she did right. One, the quality of the product was 10 out of 10. It was authentic to her.
Well, it still is 10 out of 10. Yeah.
And it still is. Yes.
And every hot girl just has that Rode phone case.
Every hot girl has a Rode.
And even as a male, like when I see the girl have the phone case, I'm kind of makes her more like wifey. I swear, like when I see a girl, like I don't know anything about it, but when I see the girl with the Rode case with is it like lip gloss or some shit?
Yeah, it's just a little lip gloss.
It's just hot. I don't know what it is.
And it's cool.
She takes care of herself.
That's like the Happy Dad hat.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the Happy Dad. Everybody loves wearing a hat and everything. So what do you think? What do you think a girl thinks when
5 guys, including me, so 4 other guys wearing a Happy Dad hat at the gym? It was crazy.
If a girl sees a guy wearing a Happy Dad hat, what do you think she's thinking?
Hopefully the same.
I don't know.
Probably a protector.
It's either really good or really bad. I don't know. It might be a red flag at the same time, but I don't know. I mean, it works for me.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I'll go into the gym too, and like I'll see a guy wearing like a Happy Dad shirt, and like I'll kind of like give him a look, and like sometimes he won't even know who I am. Like I went up to some guy in the gym and I dabbed him up. He was wearing a Happy Dad tank, and like I thought he was like, "Who the fuck's this guy, bro?" Like Happy Dad's just that big now, where it's like obviously people are repping it, and they don't even know who I am, which I personally love. I'm like, wow.
What was the guy in New York? Somebody like went up to you and like,
no, weren't you on a flight once and there was a guy that had no idea he had a Happy Dad?
It happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
I'll try to make eye contact with people in like the gym wearing Happy Dad hats, and they like won't even look back.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a guy that was, came to power wash my house, last summer. And I was wearing a Happy Dad hat and sweater. And the guy, he walks in my house and he goes, so do you work for Happy Dad or are you just a super fan?
Yeah.
And I'm like, both. And I was like, you? He's like, yeah, I love Happy Dad. And I was like, really? I was like, what, like which flavors? He's like, all of them. I'm like, which ones? Like, yeah, I was trying to see like, is this
Pick
guy
his
messing
brain.
around? And he's like, no, I love the fruit punch. Even when we had banana, he's like, I had the banana, but I know you guys stopped that one. Like, I was like, oh shit, this guy knows. I was like, bro, are you a fan of the Nelk Boys? He's like, who? I'm like, oh, do you watch? Maybe I was thinking maybe it's more sophisticated and watches this. I was like, do you watch a Full Send podcast? Like, no, I don't really watch podcasts. I'm like, how did you hear about Happy Dad? He's like, I saw a 12-pack once. I saw the name. I thought the name was cool. I bought it and I got obsessed with it.
It's working.
Yeah.
This guy was probably late 30s, early 40s.
A really cool partnership I want to talk about is the Death Row Grape partnership with Snoop Dogg. A lot of people don't know that story.
Yeah.
That was, I got to give credit to fucking John on that one. The Death Row partnership was genius, and it was I remember when we launched that flavor, I posted it on Instagram, and like people really got attached to that right from the get-go. Can you tell us a little bit about your history with Snoop and how that partnership came about?
Yeah, so Snoop's been like a close friend of ours for like 16 plus years. So he and I are like really close. We've always talked about doing things together. We've never done anything together. We've made some investments together, like here and there when I used to invest in third parties. But we've never figured out like what we're gonna do. And one day, like he called me. He goes, "Hey, I got an idea." I was like, "What's that, Snoop?" And he goes, "We should partner with your beer. Like I should partner with your beer." And I'm like, "My beer? What are you talking about? That beer you keep posting on Instagram?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's not a beer, Snoop. That's a hard seltzer." And he goes, "What the fuck is a hard seltzer?" I'm like, how do I explain this to him real quick? So I was like, it's like White Claw, but for men. He goes, "What the fuck is White Claw?" I'm like, oh shit. And I remember just hit me right there. I was like, there's a world out there that doesn't know seltzers. And again, going back to thinking, bringing new people into the category. So yeah, let's do it. And so I remember I called Sam and I said, hey, like, I think, Snoop's deal with Corona was just up. But I said, yeah, Snoop's deal with Corona is up. Like, what if we partnered with him? He's like, let's do it. And I remember calling you, and I think shortly after he actually came on here. He came on the Snoop on the Full Send podcast, and you guys talked about it a little bit there. And the idea at the time was to call it Happy Dog, and what kind of like what we did with Happy Mom and cross it out and put dog. And I mean, we went pretty far. We like trademarked Happy Dog. We were gonna have his face on the can, and we had all these different things. I was like, this just doesn't feel right. During that time, Snoop bought Death Row Records. I was like, it just didn't feel cool. It felt kind of like forced. It seemed like what something like an old beer company would do. Like it just didn't feel something that you and I would be proud of when it came to marketing. So I told Sam, I said, hey, what if we and we were going to do this with lemon lime. And I said, because that was Snoop's favorite flavor at the time. I said, hey, what if we actually put the Death Row logo? And Sam said, that's cool, but the lemon lime's green, yellowish green. Like, I don't know if it's going to look right. And I said, well, is there something with like a black logo we can do? Because the Death Row logo is black. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just not going to pop. It's not going to feel like something people are going to want to consume. And so I called Snoop back. I said, hey, like, I think we should do it with Death Row. I think Death Row logo's cool. We can't think of a color palette that's going to be marketable though. And he said, well, why don't we do purple grape? I'm like, oh shit. Okay. So that's a great idea. So came back to Sam, said, let's do a new flavor, grape, and let's make the Death Row logo purple. That's going to stand out. We designed it at first, before we even made the flavor, we designed a logo. We're like, whoa, this looks sick.
Mm-hmm.
Can we make a grape taste good?
I know, initially, I remember when you told me the idea, and I don't like grape flavor or anything.
Same.
So I was totally against it. I was like, grape.
That's great.
I was like, no, I don't know about that. But then when we tried it, I was like, holy
That was the first shot, by the way. I don't even think we went back.
No, we all looked at it, and I was like, I've never liked a grape drink of anything. And I was like, oh, wow.
And grape's like my favorite.
Yeah.
So that's how that happened. And, then Snoop, you guys, you did the pod. We did the Full Send collab. Our audience loves Snoop. You guys got along. Like, you guys started hanging out all the time. We were going back, to going to the compound. And then I think that those first videos we made with them, and remember we were in the studio with them drinking. He was drinking the grape. He's like, you nailed it.
Snoop's so smart because he sees our fan base and he sees our demographic, and the death row audience is probably typically a little bit older, right? So I think Snoop saw the value and said,
yeah,
how am I going to get younger kids to rep death row? Now you see kids wearing Happy Dad death row shirts.
Yeah, all the college bars have death row beer pong tables.
Yeah.
And they weren't.
And Snoop
college kids aren't repping death row, right?
Snoop is a genius. Like, when it comes to marketing, everybody knows. I don't even need to talk about Snoop being a genius, but he also knows there's an audience out there that I need to work with that loves me, but how do I reach them? Men in their 20s and early 30s love Snoop Dogg. How do I reach them? I'm a partner with Nelk. I'm a partner with Happy Dad. He's like, I want to partner with these guys. I trust them. And he loves it. He just posted a picture the other day, like a picture with him and a bunch of his buddies. Actually, I think it's on Harry O. Harry O is the original founder of Death Row. He posted a picture, like a group picture, a bunch of them. And Snoop shared it on his stories. And like, there's one of their random friends wearing a Happy Dad Letterman's jacket in there, they just love it. And like, that's what we did. We brought the Death Row brand. It was the perfect two-way relationship. Snoop helped us create another cool looking, because you got to remember what's also important with us. We've talked about the liquid being great. We've talked about the marketing being great, but going back to that, the guy who power washed my house, you also got to like catch people's eyes on the shelf, right? What's grabbing their attention when they're just doing a quick, grocery store run? This pops their attention. The Death Row logo pops. Death Row, what the fuck? They got a drink now? How many people are just saying that there's a Death Row drink? Like, gets their attention.
After that, we brought in so many cool partners. I mean, Drewski was a huge one. I've been friends with Drewski, and I've just been a fan of his content. So like, I told you guys, we got to get Drewski involved.
Yeah.
I mean, and now his evolution is fucking insane. I mean, he's one of the biggest creators in the world. He's guys on every fucking commercial.
I didn't even know his numbers until you told me.
Yeah.
We had a call with Drewski last week and his team. He's just a good dude. Like, I know Drewski, like the personal Drewski, like he's just a good dude, good partner. He was on the call. What more can I do? Can I help you guys? All that stuff. And then I told you, remember you're like, how to call Drewski? I was like, great. Like, he just wants to help. He's like, well, he's fucking massive now. I was like, is he? Like, yeah, so he posted that one skit like a few days after we talked. It has like 120,000 comments.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how big Drewski was. I just know him as he's just a good dude.
Guy.
Yeah, he's just a good guy.
It's hard to get him to pull his credit card out when you're at dinner or like the club.
Still?
He never pulls out his card. I went out with him. I paid for dinner and it was like fucking like $6,000. I paid for because there was girls there and shit too. And then we went to the club and like he starts ordering tequila and shit too. I looked at him. I'm like, buddy, you're pulling out your fucking card. Like,
did he?
Yeah. I was like, buddy, I've seen 6 Google commercials with you, 2 AT&Ts, fucking this and that. I'm like, pull out your fucking
Price
card.
Fix.
But no, besides that, he's a great guy. And then we have Sugar Sean. Sugar Sean,
also another great partner.
Massive.
Dustin Lynch.
Dustin
great.
Lynch.
He's on tour most of the year, and he's got beer pong tables, drinking Happy Dads at all his shows. And
Dustin Lynch has also opened up our eyes into like another category that loves Happy Dad, loves the hard iced tea, and it's the country world, which is also the rodeo world, where recently we've just announced that we partnered with Rocker Steiner, who is awesome, and he's now bringing us into the rodeo world, because the rodeo, country, PBR, like that whole world loves us too. We just didn't know. And
they're drinking.
They're drinking, but you go down,
not a whole lot of waters at rodeos, probably, right?
You go to Texas. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we have the custom Texas can. Like, you go to Texas, you go to any bar on Broadway, Nashville, Happy Dad is pumping. Bridgestone Arena, which we should get into arenas, because now we're starting to get in arenas and stadiums.
What arenas do we have? I mean, I know we got the Intuit Dome.
Well, the Intuit Dome, which a lot of people don't know, it's a $2 billion arena, the #1 arena in the world, I think. Brand new
stadium.
The Clippers play there in LA. That was, I think that's pretty iconic for us.
And
to
we're
be
the
able,
official hard seltzer
and tea of there. We're in Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, which if a lot of people have never been to Nashville, make sure you go to a concert there, because you go to a concert, you literally walk out to Broadway. Sick.
All the bars.
Allegiant Stadium in Vegas, Raiders. So Raiders Nation is just ripping Happy Dads at Raiders games, which is awesome. And then recently we did Texas Rangers, which
Globe Life.
Yankee Stadium.
We're in Yankee Stadium as well.
Big Papa's fly at Yankee
Stadium was the first, I think, right?
I think Yankee Stadium was the first stadium to ever carry us.
PNC Park, Pittsburgh
Pirates. Hard Rock Stadium, we're in there. And it goes on and on. We're just going to start clearing out all these arenas and stadiums and stuff. And
the places that I see it now, I remember when we even initially partnered, I asked you guys, I'm like, do you think we're going to get it into Grutman's restaurants ever?
Yeah.
And like that to me was so cool because we started going to Miami and doing podcasts and stuff. And, you know, those Grutman spots are always the coolest places to be in Miami and Fontainebleau. And I was like, now you walk into Live and it's Happy Dad Town.
Live's the number one most popular nightclub in America, right? Like you think of nightclubs, you think of Live, right? Like every new nightclub wants to be a better Live or a like Live, and they're serving buckets of Happy Dad with 1942 bottles at the nightclubs.
Seeing it in all the clubs is really cool too. I mean, we're in all the clubs too.
Mm-hmm.
Miami, we're in all the clubs.
But I think for us, the biggest piece where I always talk to like our distributor partners and everybody is like, our team is just so humble for how big we are, right? We're just always like, holy shit, we're here. Like it was day zero, right? And I think our hunger and like the way we market and the way we think and the way we message each other every day and all that is we act like we just launched a brand yesterday.
What is it about these clubs that want to make them carry Happy Dad? Because same thing, a lot of these other brands, they're paying to be in these clubs, right?
Yep.
Well, I think
a lot of the clubs that we get into, where Sammy's really good at avoiding those deals. I don't know if it's because you've put your work in at the clubs the last 10 years and you know all those guys personally, but
yeah. Well, Sam's got a lot of relationships with them.
Guy's been to Paris, Texas more than me and shit.
Yeah.
Paris, Texas ran out of inventory the other night.
So he's working those, but I think the clubs, it's no different than, a 45-year-old man wearing a Happy Dad hat, right? It's just the brand makes you cool as well, right? Like we are a drink for 20, the audience that people are going after is our audience, right? Like, I mean, look at the elections, you know what I mean? Like, it's no joke. Like, who did President Trump go after? Our audience, who did these clubs want to go after? Like, everyone wants this 25 to 30-year-old person right now, and we're winning. Barstools is winning, those audiences, and that's what they want, or else they're just gonna be that old company. If you're a club and you're carrying White Claw and Corona, I mean, like, it's like, no, I gotta be.
It's the culture that we bring in too.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is, and they see that, and when they're buying a bunch of bottles of champagne and everything, people are also buying some beers or some seltzers, and if anything, they want the premium seltzer, which is us, not by cost, but just it feels right, and just people still want to drink something light, but they could easily pick some cheesy brand, or they could pick us.
Yeah,
I think that's it, and that's also why you see sales in like these arenas and everything. They're like, oh, we were carrying this other brand, and you guys are just like tripling the sales. I'm like, because it's a cool brand. Like, for example, like if you're a club or a festival or anything, I would probably partner with Poppy over a soft drink, because people will be like, I want to drink a Poppy. They don't want to drink maybe a cherry soda of whatever, some other brand.
I mean, yeah, and it's one thing we didn't really talk about too, is based on that is how many celebrity brands, alcohol brands, have come and gone. Yeah. I mean, I think we inspired this week, fucking this year. I mean, I think there was a lot of celebrity brands before us too, but I think we definitely inspired a lot of people to, build their own brands and launch their own brands. But specifically in the alcohol space, celebrity brands typically just fail. And I think that, the way we've treated it, obviously, like we said at the beginning, is, we don't want this to be a Nelk thing, a full send thing, even though at the beginning, like you said, we did over close to 500 meetups I mean, we put in the physical work. We went to 500 different stores, shook hands with liquor store owners, signed hats, signed cases. But what do you think is the biggest mistake that other celebrity alcohol brands are making that we, specifically in alcohol though, that
Let's talk about specifically the seltzer companies that you're talking about, all the celebrity ones that have recently come out. They're going after the same person. I mean, do your research on who, because I don't want to shit on these people. So some of them I know or their teens, but they're going literally after the 25-year-old girl. You know, like that's done. Like White Claw and Truly
Or High Noon.
in a little bit of High Noon, like own that. You know, like why are you going after that? Like they own that. You know what I mean? So why are you going after that person? There's a lot more people out there, you know? So I think that's the problem. One, they're going after the same person. You know, if you look at some of the most recent like tequila companies that have taken off, they've marketed to whole different people, right? Like Casamigos, I forgot the name, but the Rocks, right? Like they went after Terramana, like they're going after like different audiences, and they're doing well. But then so you've got to find. I think that's one of the first things you got to think. If I'm going to make a product, is it going to fit right with this audience? Is their product market fit? One,
And then the team.
obviously, we've talked a million times over. The product's got to be good, so that's a no-brainer. If you don't get that, then don't even bother.
I think one thing a lot is they're not willing to put in the physical work.
That's the next thing I was gonna bring. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the work.
And not some cute little signing. We did 30 meetups in Texas when we launched Texas in 5 days.
Yeah. You got to put in
actually
the work.
32 to be exact.
Like that's one thing. Like,
and you got to drink when you're on those meetups too. I mean, there's some guys that like.
Well, there was one.
They don't even drink and they launch an alcohol brand.
There was one person I saw a video. I don't want to say his name because we're kind of friends with him, but like he had a tequila. It's actually here in Newport Beach. He had a tequila, and he was promoting the tequila, and he was at a meetup. He would literally like followed all our places after we did our Dana Newport tour, the Monkey Bomb tour last year. He did the same exact route. And then there's a video that went viral on TikTok, and we're like, all right, well, thanks for coming. Let's all take a shot. And he goes, actually, I don't drink. Fucking killed his tequila. The tequila was dead after that.
That's why sometimes like if Sammy hits me up about the schedule and says like, yo, want to do this and this, sometimes I'm realistic and be like, yo, I don't think, because I don't want to, it's a drink.
Yeah.
You can't pull up there and not drink. If I'm doing a Happy Dad meetup, you gotta love your product.
And so going back to is you got to put that work in, but it's not
otherwise it feels fake.
Well,
I feel guilty.
We did 450 in the first 2 years, and like now we're at over 500, and it's that work. But then
we're not
also,
stopping, by the way. 4 years.
There's not a month that doesn't go by that someone doesn't tell me, hey, I want to launch this alcohol brand. I'm like, who's your team and what's your distribution? Because again, we could have done everything, but if we didn't have good distribution and a good support system and a good team, what are we selling? Nothing. It won't even be on the shelves, right?
You got to have a good back end team, because while you're doing the meetups, the team here is hitting up all the other stores. Hey, look, that one post you're talking about from San Diego, like, the meetup with San Diego, the team on the back end was hitting all the rest. We launched California only. While you were doing all that, what was the team doing? Calling all the other states. You better carry our product. Look at this. I'll never forget when we did that meetup. It was at a Bevmo. No stores wanted to carry us at first. We're like, no, we have too many seltzers. I was trying to explain who Nelk was, never heard of them. That's all the retailers, right? People that just don't watch YouTube. And I remember that day, it was a Tuesday when we did that meetup on Bevmo. The next day, I had a call from Total Wine. We want to bring your product in. The day after that, Rouse, which is Kroger's here in California, we want to bring you in. The next day, Albertsons, like you know what I mean. But that was our team making those calls, and they're like, "Yes, we're in." We didn't know, we didn't realize that you're bringing a different person. We had no idea. We tried your product; it's great, actually. We want to bring you in. Within that 1 week, we were in all these California retailers.
More importantly, when we launched Bevmo and Total Wine, and even Walmart now, to this day, every day we're looking at our sales in every single store, and if something isn't going right or if something's going incredibly right, we go and we reach out to them and we work with them. So that relationship with Bevmo, Total Wine, Kroger, from day one that we ever created, hasn't not stopped, but it's gotten better and better every day as partners, right? And that's where the team comes in, because you're not calling them, I talk to some of them sometimes and everything. John's not calling, but that's all of our incredible employees that are like, let's keep this going. And they kept the tidal wave going since day one, and there's a reason why we're a top 3 brand in Bevmo, and some of these other places we're top 2 now, and everything is because we specifically stayed in touch with those people for 4 years, every week, every month, whatever that is. And we're watching, and that's like the data side of our whole business. That's next couple years from now, we'll talk about that. But that's where it goes, sales and distribution. That's all that matters, and outside of all the magical things that we've done. But
to say one more thing on that is like, yeah, when people ask me, how do I start, a creator product or something too? I mean, I got to give a lot of credit to obviously Sam and John. I think that, Happy Dad, Nelk's job was obviously we created the enthusiasm and we posted it and it went crazy and we helped blow up the social media. But that would have been an initial spike. And then I think what, Sam and John, you guys have done, and Sammy being such a fucking great leader and just an absolute robot. I mean, this guy will be at a fucking event, and then the next morning he's up at 5 a.m. on his laptop, waking up before me. I think that's been a huge, huge reason for our success. Sammy's year and John's work ethic.
I love it.
Sammy's the fucking hardest worker. Everyone I meet too
Don't know
knows
how he
it
does
too. And John's an absolute marketing genius. So I think that's the final thing I would say is like, an influencer or whatever. If whoever you're partnering with, it's going to be your job to market it, but the people that you're partnering with, got to not only be like friends, and we become almost like brothers, literally.
Yep.
You got to have that, and you got to do your job, and they got to do their job. And I think we've both done our jobs
You were a groomsman
to
at my
11
wedding.
out of 10.
Yeah.
And I think, Happy Dad's, our goal, John, too, is to really, Happy Dad's our first product, but I mean, you always say it, we're in the shelf space.
Yeah,
business,
we're not
right?
in the alcohol business. We're in the shelf space business, especially as we've established these incredible relationships with great people. Like, there's sometimes, the folks at Walmart will want a meeting, and I'll say, I'll just fly out there to you guys. Like, I like spending time with them. So I'll fly to Bentonville. We'll fly to Texas to meet with 7-Eleven. We'll fly to Ohio to meet with Kroger's because they're good people. And they're always like, what else do you guys have going on? And obviously we're always marketing and coming out with new products. Like, 2 years ago we came out with the grape flavor. Last year we came out with hard iced tea. As you watch the Nelk video, there'll be a lemonade flavor, the new can, to celebrate 250 year anniversary of American independence. So we'll have out the new fruit punch can this year. But then what other shelves could we get on? What other shelves could use disruption? And last year we launched our beef jerky brand, and we saw we couldn't even keep it in stock on Amazon. The demand was so high. So that's going to be our next big one, in my opinion. So that's one. We'll be, we could talk on this more. Maybe it's a documentary on, getting into the smokeless tobacco
Pouch business. We're working on something. Won't say too much about that. But yeah, just being in the shelf space business, I think it's genius how Happy Dad's our first, and now that it's been such a success, we own all these relationships with Walmart and all the stores. So this won't be our last product that we ever make, but anything we make, it's the same thing as Happy Dad. We want to love it. It's, it's got to be a great product at the end of the day, because we've seen if it's not a great product, there's no way that you can market it. It's at the end of the day, anything that works is just got to be a great fucking product. That's
the thing. Don't settle for just anything. Be authentic, something that you use in a category that's growing, and go disrupt that category. And I think that's my advice for everybody. Every 2-3 times a week, a top creator that's one of your guys' favorites, one of our friends, will call me. What do you think what do you think about this idea? And I'll spend an hour, 2 hours of my day brainstorming with them, but tell them why it could be a good idea or why it could be a bad idea. But you got to really think through and don't rush these. Almost every celebrity, if you remember, has dropped the product and you forgot about it because it just didn't work. It's got, there's only a handful. I mean, we were even talking about it before we started. What are the ones that have worked? We can't even think of too many. Jordans worked for Michael Jordan. Beats worked for Dr. Dre. Vitamin Water worked for 50 Cent. Road worked for Hailey Bieber. But there, and there's probably another 4 or 5 other ones, but there's really not a lot that have worked because they've rushed to it and they just think they could just slap their name on anything. And it's not authentic, doesn't taste good, don't have the right distribution, don't have the right team. There's a lot of moving parts to it.
And then what do we see for Happy Dad for the next 3 years? I mean, we already said we're launching a lemonade. We kind of teased that in the Nelk video, which tastes fucking amazing. I don't know if I was a little buzzed at the bar, but it tasted great.
No, it was
I
good.
just tried it again and it tasted amazing.
I think the biggest thing for us is going to be focused on distribution, being in more stores, being more available. So as you're watching this, as you're watching Nelk, you're watching Sugar Sean, Drewski, Pauly D, Dustin Lynch, Roger Steiner, Justin Gaethje, any of our partners, and you go to the store, we should be available. You know, so that's the biggest
But
thing.
we will be
But
launching new products over the next.
Yeah, we'll definitely do some other products, but
We have some cool ones in the pipeline that we can't.
Yeah.
we definitely
Well,
do.
it's not that we can't say, we feel more comfortable when it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's better to be a surprise too.
But most people don't understand that, like, you know, when you have a big product, you know, yeah, the retailers are great and distributors are great, but we have to be the distributor and retailers are our customers. We have to be the best partners to them. And so that is an insane amount of work to make sure that we're incredible to work with. That's the
You're talking
120
about tens of thousands of
yeah,
stores.
and that's, you know, we have 120 employees. We might be at a couple hundred next time we do something like this, but to manage and be able to be great partners is extremely hard, and that's what we need to do, right? And that right there, it doesn't sound sexy when it comes to like business and new things, but that is the core of our company, and that's what we are, because that's who we all are, right? We're great. We treat everybody right, and we want to treat our partners right, because there's a bunch of idiots out there that take all this for granted.
And I think there's a lot of other components, like, you know, his role is that. His role is keeping the retailers happy, the relationships, distributors, great product. We never even got into the manufacturing of the product. When you're talking about, you know, a food product, you're making tens of millions of cans a year, you know, of different flavors. Like, there's so much logistics when it comes to production, brewing, canning, freight, all that. So that's God bless Sam. He's done a great job of that. It's not an easy job.
Not at all.
You know, and then you and I always keeping up with the marketing, right? You brought Drewski to the table, you brought UFC to the table, and the network behind UFC with all the fighters that joined on board.
That's pretty much everything. We wanted to just kind of, you know, this was fun for us to just sit down and kind of give you guys an inside look into the business. It's been a crazy 4 years. I mean, I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, it's been a dream come true for me, man.
Thank you. Thanks Steve. Thank Steiny, Salim, the whole team. Obviously, we showed a lot of love for our partners. We're grateful for them, but you know, our team that you helped introduce us to has really got us to this.
Definitely, thank you, Dana White.
Thanks to Dana. Thanks
White.
To all our partners. Yeah. I mean, I watched we posted a documentary on Nelk about 3 years ago, and I clicked on it the other day, and it's crazy to see how far Happy Dad's come.
Let's do part 2.
Yeah, I mean, documentary. We are filming a documentary. We have a lot of footage, but it's just all about.
We gotta keep filming.
Do we want to put another one out now, or do we want to put it out in a few years? But we're filming this entire process, and I couldn't be more happy with. It's just been a dream come true for me. So thanks to all you guys watching, especially all the old Nelk fans that have been supporting us for like over 10 years too. For me, it's amazing, and I couldn't be more grateful every day.
Yeah.
And Happy Dad to the moon.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.